Opening statement, obviously I'm really disappointed in the loss today, the way we lost at the end there. Um, but as you reflect on a season and you reflect on what's been done with these two young women here with me and what we've done since we've been here, there are a lot of positives. And every year we've gotten better in some facet, shape, or form. And obviously it accumulated with back-to-back postseason. Our attendance is gone up. We've always led the conference attendance. This year we led a conference attendance. You've seen a better quality in the student athlete that we brought in. I think there are a lot of positives to take away, and obviously, Jacqueline and Meghan have a fair amount to do with that. So that makes it even harder to end the season this way. I mean, if you look at how we ended last season, a loss at Stephen F. Austin with postseason play, and now we have an opportunity to play at home. I think, again, that's another improvement for us. We had an opportunity to host at home with a better seed. We had a chance to try to make a run at, again, continue to prolong the history that these two young women have helped us do. And I think those are the things you need to look at. It's really hard, though, to catch, someone right off of a loss. But just a quick reflection, I think those are definitely some positives. Really, the name of the game isn't necessarily Vicki McIntyre. I think we took some really just quick shots. We took some mid-range jumpers. We did not have people inside the paint to rebound, and they ran out and they scored on those. It took advantage of those. So, I think these two young women can tell you every time out, I kept saying, attack the paint, let's get to layups. If you take those shots, we need to have rebounders. If that doesn't happen, it's going to be really difficult for us. We need to defend. You got to do one of the three. You either make the shot, all right, or you rebound, or you defend. And right now, this time of year, everybody playing it, they're good teams. They're good teams for a reason. And I think we saw that's how it unfortunately ended up playing out for us here.
Coach, talk about that last 4 minutes. It seems like I was just talking with the ladies about that last 4 minutes. It just seems like a lid went over the basket. Do you think it wasn't from lack of execution? The shots were there. Just talk about that last 4 minutes on the offensive end.
I think when the lid was there, again, Mark, I go back to we either need to go ahead and have a second chance opportunity with the layup getting a rebound, or we need to do a good job of getting a stop defensively. The way to score against them is to score in the paint. It isn't necessarily off the mid-range jumpers, but a lot of it's on layups and second chance opportunities or something easy in trans. And we got away from that. And when we did, you saw the result. Because if you don't get the offensive board or you don't do a good job getting them stopped in defense and they're pushing right to move ahead, they didn't lead for quite some time, that's the end result of it. And of course, I think the story would be different if we hit all those mid-range shots, but that didn't happen.
Talk about, I guess, individually starting with Meghan and then going into Jacqueline. Just this game and then just for the whole season. How do you thought they performed?
I think they wanted it. I really do believe that they wanted it, and you saw that out there. It played out in different ways. I mean, Jack came in and probably had one of her best three-point shooting games. We kind of joked at halftime. But I think she did a tremendous job, and I want her to feel as if she can hang her hat on. At least she did the best she could when she was given the opportunity when she played. But not only that, if you take a look at, Jacqueline has been here as a transfer, okay? And she's also been in another program as well, the Division I level. I think she's always had that vision and understanding of what it's going to take and how she's going to contribute, and she figured it out this year. And I really appreciate that. She humbled herself in a lot of different ways. Obviously, she was a starter for us at one point, and she was coming in off the bench. But I'll be honest with you, didn't have any issues at all with Jacqueline with her attitude when that happened. I think she understood that. Jacqueline was probably one of the biggest players that was excited about the opportunity to continue her season and continue to find a way to help Texas State out. And I really believe she's going to leave here as a proud Bobcat alum. I think Meghan, what I enjoy most about coaching Meghan, and I know she's disappointed about the game, and I hate that she's going to beat herself up over it, probably more so than anybody else, to be honest with you. I think Meghan just has that spirit of go-to. She can get down, but she always gets right back up, and I think that's what I appreciate about Meghan. And she's been through quite a bit of adversity in her life, from a lot of different facets, to be honest with you. But I understood that through the recruiting process. I mean, Meghan's a tough kid, and she's going to find a way, and I don't have to worry about her. And I think she also is going to be someone who'll come back and people will rally around, and she's someone who can talk about her experiences here at Texas State and what it meant to her and her expectation level for the next group, this next group coming up, as well as, the rest that follow. Because the truth of the matter is, these two young women are the top of the class, the first grade. They're not part of my first signing class, but they're the top of that particular class. And I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud of the fact that they have helped set the tone. And they'll tell you, I've told them this, you know, I want you to be able to make history, to set the tone. That postseason is just what we do. And I think they've done that with back-to-back postseason. Again, it didn't end the way none of us wanted it to end whatsoever. I think we all understand we were capable of winning that game. But with that being said, you can't overlook the fact that these two young women are amazing Bobcat alum. Well, soon to be Bobcat alum. And I'm really happy about that.
Megan, you want to reflect a little bit about your time here at Texas State?
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a journey, but like she said, I'm going to come back next year, catch a couple of games when I can, and then expectations for next year and years to come under Coach Z. If we didn't make we made history from back-to-back postseason, but then next year have them make more history by winning or advancing past the first round of postseason play, and just I don't know, it's disappointing that we lost, but. Really nobody, we had a great team. We won more games this year than last year, so I think every year, hopefully they progress and keep on making history.
Jacqueline, same question.
Oh, it's been a journey for me too. I don't know, it's not hitting me yet that it's over, but all I can say is I'm appreciative of everything that's happened and that I've been through. My teammates, my coaches, to the people at Texas State. I think that's the one word I would use because I don't think I could grow into the person that I want to be without everything that we've gone through as a team or I've gone through as a player and a student here. So it's just the reality sitting right now. So it's sad, but it's all good.
Any moments stand out for you guys since you've been here?
Personally, my favorite was Arkansas State at home senior night, but that was just because we played them 5 times before that, 4 or 5 times,
right.
And we took L's every time, and just the heart that everybody showed that night.
Finally got them.
Yeah, and that it felt good to finally get him and knowing that we can beat them. So
Right.
definitely that one.
Same question.
I think my favorite moment was the Tech game, even though we didn't come out with the outcome we wanted. It was just nice coming from a Big 12 school, knowing that we could play with another
Right.
Big 12 school. And I think we should have won that game, and I think we definitely could have won that game. So just building that confidence again, coming from, like I said, a Big 12 school to a mid-major school, Sunbelt team, it's a transition, but then gaining that confidence again, hey, well, we're just as good as the rest of the people out here. So that was my favorite game.
Coach Z, talk a little bit about the importance of this tournament as far as not only extending the season for seniors, but how important it is for the conference and for recruiting purposes.
I think it really, Mark, when I take a look at postseason play, specifically to women's basketball, I think the WBI is critical because men's basketball has 4 tournaments that they have for postseason. Women's basketball only has 3. So I think it's exciting. And one of the questions that came up was, Coach Z, educate us a little bit more on the WBI. We know about the WNIT. We don't know enough about the WBI. And the WBI is only in its 5th year, but I'm excited because it's an advancement of women's athletics. It's an advancement for opportunities for student athletes to have postseason play. I want this tournament to continue to grow. It is very competitive. They've got quite a few really good teams in it. And again, I go back to our counterparts have 4 postseason, tournaments. We now currently are at 3. And so I think that to me is the bigger picture. When you look specifically to your program, postseason's postseason, and I put this on the board, they earned this. They deserve this opportunity. Their hard work, all the summers and the two-a-days and the running and all of the stressors of mentoring the younger ones, dealing with, me being crazy, whatever that might be, they deserve that, this opportunity because they fought and they've worked hard as student athletes. And this is a reward. Like this time is a reward. It's an opportunity for you to continue, to show what you can do against some of the best in the country. which is really fun. It's no longer necessarily quote unquote regional. You get to go up against some of the best, obviously within your region initially, but then you get to go up against some of the best in the country and really see where you're at. I mean, to me, there's nothing better than that in sport, is to be able to compete. And then on the bigger scale, for sure, I think it's really important. You know, I'm disappointed to see that Little Rock got. I think that Coach Foley does a phenomenal job. He's shown that over time. He's been there for quite some time. He's got it going with his defense. They're top 3 in the country defensively. They beat Oklahoma and LSU teams in the tournament, all right, and to see that they got is very upsetting for our conference. You know, and then in addition to that, then we only have one team, and that is Arkansas State.
Right.
And the WNIT, to me, that was absolutely ridiculous. That's just my personal opinion. I think there were other teams that were deserving. But with that being said, my hats go off to WBI, recognizing with us, Troy and Lafayette, in that we're teams that can compete. You know, I wish that we could have done our part at Texas State to continue to show that the Sun Belt Conference is who we were, where we had 3 teams in the NCAA tournament, more in the NIT, but WNIT, excuse me. I'm still excited for us. I mean, it's postseason, it's March, and I kept telling the girls, I'm excited. I'm still really proud of them that we had this opportunity, because a lot of the country's sitting home watching games or going back to school or going on in real life has hit them, like they said.
Right. I guess final question for me, how long will it be until you start thinking about next year? How long do you give yourself?
Tonight?
Tonight.
Yeah, that's just coaching. You know, I always tell people coaching is not a job, it's a lifestyle, it's what you do. And so, you know, I'll be thinking a lot about this game. I'll be thinking a lot about what we need to do, changes we need to make, things of that nature, but it's just a lifestyle, it's what we do.
How valuable of experience for the underclassmen to get, whether it's the Sun Belt tournament or this tournament, that experience of playing against these top-notch teams moving forward, it's got to help them out.
Oh yeah, it's tremendous. Not just the opportunity to play, but to understand that these two have set the standard. This is what we do. And I think that's what I like. Like, this is what we do. The expectation level is no longer, when I first got here, it was just getting to Katy, because we were never had the opportunity to, for quite some time, just get to the conference tournament. Then it was, no, that's what we do. We get to the conference tournament. Now it's, let's advance in the conference tournament. Let's try to get this thing. This year, clearly, I think championship was always on our mind, and, we just slightly distant from away from catching that. But then we had another opportunity with postseason play, and the thinking was, hey, 4 games to get there, and this is how we're going to do it. It starts with Earl Roberts. So it's huge, because the tone has been set. This is what we do, and that's really all the younger kids are going to know. So I think their expectation level for the next group is like, no, this is what we do, and this is how it needs to be done, and here how we're going to learn from our mistakes to move forward.
Thanks for the time.